this was never going to happen. Well, it is. The day has come, friends. Grab your guitars. It's time for another Sungha Jung fingerstyle arrangement guitar tutorial. Let's roll the intro. Hello everyone, Brett here. So today what we are going to be doing is the Bluebird opening for Naruto, and this is Sungha Jung's arrangement of the pop song by Ikimono-gakari. So the Bluebird, as everyone knows, is the opening song for Naruto. However, this arrangement is for the entire song Bluebird. So the Bluebird song that you will hear in the anime opening is actually shorter. This Bluebird arrangement includes an extra verse and also includes the bridge part, which we will of course be looking at. So there may be some confusion over that. Anyways, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to look at every single section of the song. I will break it down for you. All of the different sections, there will be on-screen tabs. And if you want the PDF tabs that go along with the music tutorial, then you can sign up to my Subscribestar page where you will find a PDF tab there ready for download. Also, don't forget to sign up to my mailing list. Anyways, let's get started. So we're going to start off with the part that everyone knows very well, the introduction part. So we're going to start off with the intro, which is the theme everyone knows. And the song gets started with this. Okay, before anyone asks, my guitar is in standard tuning with the capo on the 2nd fret. Okay, a quick mention here about the capo. So the capo that I have is on the 2nd fret. And you will see in the video of Sungha Jung, for him it's on the 3rd fret. And what I think he does is that he tunes his guitar down a half step, and then after that he puts the capo on the 3rd fret. The advantage of doing this is that your stretches are a little bit smaller, but I mean just very little bit. So I just keep my guitar in standard tuning, capo on the 2nd fret. So just be aware of the things that you see of the capo being on the 3rd fret, this is probably why. So we get started off at the intro with the hammer-on playing the 2nd strings and then the 1st string and then a hammer-on and the 2nd fret. Then after that, you're going to play the C add 9 chord, followed by a B7 chord, playing the 5th, 3rd, and 2nd strings with these 3 fingers in the 2nd fret. And then you're going to finish on an E minor chord. Now, E minor chord is your 2nd finger here in the 2nd fret on the 4th string. I'm just not sure how many strings you play. It's not very clear from the recording if it's 3 strings or 4 strings. So I leave the choice up to you. Probably just 3. Okay, then after that, we play the 2nd, the 1st strings, and then hammer on, and then play our C add 9 chord again. This is 5th string, 2nd string, and 1st string with these 3 fingers in the 3rd fret. Next, you're going to play a wide D chord, playing the 4th, 3rd, and 1st strings with this index finger here in the 2nd fret, and then this 1st finger here reaching into the 5th fret. Next, you play the 3rd fret and the 5th fret note each on the 1st string. And you're going to reach over and play this wide G chord. So this is the 3rd fret, and then this is the 7th fret on the 6th string and on the 1st string, respectively. And then you go back and you're going to play the same as the introduction. Okay, so a word on the note durations here. You really need to be making sure that you calculate the number of beats there are for each of these. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our introduction. Again, the faster you play it, it'll sound more like the song, but when you're learning it, just make sure you calculate the correct number of beats. Okay, so moving on to the next line. This part's a little bit tricky. You're going to have to practice a lot your sliding movement with your pinky finger from the 5th to the 7th frets and then back to the 5th fret. Luckily for us, even with the capo, we have these dots to help us out from the 5th fret to the 7th fret. With the capo, of course, it's like your 7th fret and 9th fret. The notes would be the same. And then you have to really practice that. So practice sliding from these 2 frets, making sure you watch your destination, and then sliding back to your destination. So I'll put the capo back on, but really make sure that you're doing that. Didn't put my capo on straight, but yeah, it's kind of annoying. It happens a lot in this whole song. The whole... And you're going to be sliding with chords later on. Anyways, so the reason why I mentioned that is that's the next part we have to do. You're going to play the 1st string open, slide quickly from the 5th fret to the 7th fret, and then back to the 5th fret note. Play this note here in the 3rd fret, 5th string, and then redo your sliding thing. But here the accent is a little bit different. We play the open string, slide, and then instead of sliding back to the 5th fret, we pluck this note. And when we pluck it, we're going to play this open D chord again with your index finger here on the 3rd string 2nd fret and this pinky finger here in the 5th fret. Next after that, you're going to place your 2nd finger here on the 3rd fret, play the 2nd string and pluck the 2nd and 3rd strings together, then play the open 6th, open 1st, and then your E minor chord. Then that sends us into the interlude. After the introduction part, you are going to go and do the interlude, and this interlude happens twice. The interlude is the part that goes between the intro and the verse, and it's the instrumental part. It goes something like this. Okay, so very short, and it's going to start off with a this chord here, this C add 9 chord, and you're going to start off by slapping on the 4th beat, and this chord launches us into the actual interlude part. So slap, and this C add 9 chord, of course, is your fingers 2nd, 3, 2, 3, and 4 in the 3rd fret on the 5th, 2nd, and 1st strings. Next, you're going to reach over with your pinky finger all the way in here to the 5th fret. And then you're going to reach back and place your 1st finger here in the 2nd fret on the 4th string. And then play the 4th and 3rd strings. Slap. Okay, then after that, you can release your 1st finger from the 4th string. It's going to pop over into the 5th string, always on the 2nd fret in this case. Go quickly into the 7th fret, reach back and slap into the 2nd fret here on the 1st string with your index finger, playing the 1st string as you slap. And then you play an E minor 9 chord like this, playing the 6th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings with your 3rd and 4th fingers in the 3rd fret. After that, you pluck the 3rd and the 4th strings while slapping simultaneously on the beat. The next chord that we're going to play is A minor 7. So this is your pinky finger here in the 3rd fret and your index finger here in the 1st fret. You pluck the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings first, and then after that you play the 5th string with your thumb. Pluck the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings here while getting your middle finger here into the 2nd fret. Now it's another slap hit on the open strings. And then after that, you pluck the 5th and the 5th and 1st strings together, doing a hammer-on pull-off thing. Play this note D in the 3rd fret, and then it's more slaps. And then you're going to play this B7 bar chord. So this is a bar, of course, in the 2nd fret. And your 3rd and 4th fingers are here on the 4th fret each. Okay, so now let's look at it again from the interlude. This time I'm going to play it slowly and count the beats. So you have a slap. This is beat number 4, by the way. 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and... Cool, so that's our interlude, and that's going to launch us into the verse. This part here. So again, practice these stretches. They're a little bit tough to do. And that's it for the interlude. We're going to see it again later on in the song. Okay, so now we're going to look at the verses. So verse 1 and verse 2 are the exact same music, and they're followed by the exact same pre-chorus. And they are also followed by the same chorus. Anyways, we're getting ahead. So let's go look at the verse. We are going to do the verse. So the verse, of course, starts off like this. So on. The way that Sungha plays it is kind of like quiet, I guess, more dreamy like. But you can add more percussive effects if you want to make it more lively, I suppose. Okay, so we start off with the pickup, which is like what we saw at the very beginning. I pick up the measure where you pluck the second and then the first strings and then hammer on here into the second fret. Next, we're going to play the sixth and the first strings. Playing, releasing, and then hammering on into the third fret. Play the note here that's on the second fret on the first string. Slap. Then the next chord that you're going to play is kind of a made-up one with some suspended notes. Just place your first finger into the second fret and your third finger here into the second fret on the fifth and the third strings, and then play the fifth. The fifth and the second strings, and then play the fifth, second, and first strings together, and then the second and the first at the same time. Move over into a C position, so your second finger here onto the fifth fret, and then you're going to hammer on here with your first finger hammering on into the second fret on the third string. Play the second string open, slap, and then play the sixth, third, and first strings at the same time. So you see your second finger is just moved into the third fret, and then your first finger stays on the second fret in the third string. Okay, next we're going to move into A minor 9 position. So your first finger here onto the second fret, first fret on the second string. Hammer on into the third fret on the second string. Play the first string and then play the second string. Again, you can let everything ring here, that's not a problem. And then play this sort of G chord in first inversion, I guess. So your first finger here on the second fret and your third finger here on the third fret. Okay, cool. So let's go back and we'll just do the whole first line again of the verse, counting the beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next. Okay, cool. So next we're going to go and do this chord. So this chord here is kind of like a C add 9 chord. You're going to have your second and your third fingers here in the third fret on the fifth and on the second strings. Play the fifth and second and first strings at the same time. Next after that, you're going to hammer on from the second into the third fret. So you're going to hammer on here. You can, it's really up to you, but you can hammer in either with your pinky finger. If you can hammer on like this with your pinky finger underneath your third finger, that's acceptable. Otherwise, you can remove your third finger like I showed, and then remove it and hammer on with your third finger like that, and it probably gives you a better result, a more secure result. Cool. Then after that, we reach into the second fret and we play the third and first strings. Slap again. And next, after that, we play exactly the same thing as we just did to start off the verse. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, to finish the verse, you're going to play this A minor 7 chord. Okay, so your second and your first fingers here, you should know A minor 7, but anyway, it's a basic chord. So your second finger here in the second fret, your first finger here in the first fret. Pluck the 4 strings at the same time, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. Place your pinky finger here into the first string. Play it with your ring finger, the first string. Then play B7. In the second fret, you have your first, second, and third fingers on the 5th, 3rd, and 1st strings. Pull it off. Okay, and then this part, you're going to pluck this note here. After pulling off into the first string, you're going to pluck this note here on the second string. And there's a kind of bend that Sungha does, and I'm not sure if it's like with your third finger or with your pinky finger, which one's better, but you can use your third finger if you find that has more power to do this bend. Anyway, so you have to figure out which finger you're going to use, but you do you pluck the note, the second string twice, and you do a kind of bend in the third fret. Next, you play the 6th, the first, slap, and then play these 2 4th and 3rd strings at the same time with your middle fingers. Cool, and that sends us off into the pre-chorus. Following the verses, there is going to be a pre-chorus. So now let's go look at the pre-chorus part. But before we do, make sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so the pre-chorus is going to start off immediately after the verse. It doesn't change, it goes... something like that. That's how it starts off. Okay, so we're going to go and play the second string, the first string, slapping, and then playing the first string here with your index finger here in the second fret. Play C add 9, slap, pluck the 5th string by itself, pluck the 3rd string, slap down, and then the 5th string, and then you're going to reach back and do a partial bar with your first finger into the second fret. And then you're going to need your pinky finger to play this note here in the second, into the first string and the 3rd fret. So it's right, like that. So this measure at the start of the pre-chorus, we have and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. So not very much happening in the left hand. Your pinky finger, which is in the 3rd fret over here, is now going to pop into the 5th fret. And then you're going to play this note. So still barring here in the 2nd fret, you're going to play you're going to bar and play the 5th and the 3rd strings. Your second finger is going to be here into the 2nd string on the 3rd fret. And your pinky finger, as I mentioned, it's over here, way over in the 5th fret. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool. All right, next we have to slide here, and we have to do, you're going to slide into the 4th, 5th, and 3rd frets with your 2nd, 3rd, and 1st fingers. And I'm not sure if like the variation with the pre-chorus, okay, is I think one, it's you just play the 3rd and the 1st strings. And then the second time around, you're going to play this full chord. So I'm not too sure, but you can practice like the harder way because do it both times. It really doesn't matter much. Anyways, so we're sliding here with your 2nd, 3rd, and 1st strings, sliding into the 3rd, so 4th, 5th, and 3rd frets. Next after that, you're going to slide back into a D chord. So you're barring on your 1st fret and your 2nd finger here goes into the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. You can also use your 3rd finger there if you like. Cool, and then after that, the chord that you're going to pluck is E minor open. And then after that, we move and we play the 3rd fret and then the 5th fret. And then after that, use your pinky finger here for this note and the 5th fret. because you're going to slide way up into the 7th and 8th frets. Okay, so this chord here, your first finger here is on the 1st string playing in the 7th fret, and then your second finger here is on the 6th string playing in the 8th fret, and then your third finger also goes into the 8th fret to play the note that's on the 2nd string in the 8th fret. And after that, you're going to reach back into the 5th fret with your pinky finger. Your first finger, it's going to reach back, so you have to do something like this, which is quite a big stretch between your 2nd and 1st fingers. Just keep your thumb low. If you can't, you can try doing something with your thumb, I suppose. After sliding in here, if you need to reach back, I suppose you can get your thumb and play in the 6th string, but that's not what Sungha does. So that's what that is. All right, so let's go and go from where we have to slide here. So we have and 4 and then we slide into the 8th fret. It's 1 and 2 and 3, reach back, and 4 and great. Okay, so keeping this, keeping your 3rd and your 1st fingers here in the 2nd and the 1st strings, you're gonna strum up. Then you're going to sort of move everything where you have your 1st finger here onto the 8th fret, and then your pinky finger here into the 10th fret. You're gonna rasguiato strum, and then after that you're going to do a downward hit. Be conscious that you need to get this chord into the 7th fret, which is barred. That comes next. So you're going to get your bar right away, and then these two notes, these two fingers are in the these two fingers here are in the 8th fret. Your 2nd and 3rd finger in the 8th fret, and then so you're gonna slap down and then pluck the 1st and the 2nd strings. And then your 3rd and your 4th finger are going to reach over into the 5th and the 3rd strings, and then play this, you're going to play this bar chord, which is B. There's a sus4, which goes into B7. Okay, so now going back here where it's like 7 and 8. Okay, so you have, and then you switch around to 8 and then 10, rasguiato strum. And then it's getting your bar here, you're going to go hit, pluck, and then you hit on the downbeat. On one of the pre-choruses you don't hit. I'm not sure which one it is. Anyways, and then you're gonna go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, and then rasguiato strum. And then that's going to launch you into the chorus. 1 and 2 and rasguiato strum. Rasguiato strum. Cool. That, like I said, launches us into our next big section, which is the chorus. Now we are going to look at the 1st and 2nd choruses, and the only difference with the choruses is how it goes on. Like one part, after the 1st chorus, you have to go back to the interlude, and then after the 2nd chorus, you have to move on and go into do the middle 8. So again, all of this is written on the PDF tabs, which you can download at my Subscribestar page. And I encourage you to sign up there and download them because it will make it easier for you to follow along with the song as you are learning it. All right, so now let's continue on with the chorus. So the chorus launches in right after the pre-chorus, and it's much like what the introduction is, except kind of noisier, if that makes sense. Yeah, something like that. It's that part there, so like the more rhythmic part that's very similar to the introduction. Yeah, so you should be all familiar with this. There's just some extra notes that are added, so let's go through it quickly. You pluck the 2nd string, slap on the downbeat, and then play this note here on this F sharp here on the 2nd fret on the 1st string. Next, play C add 9, slap, move into B7. So C add 9 was in the 3rd fret, B7 is in the 2nd fret, and then zap, and then play open E minor. On the end of that beat, you're going to play a hammer on here and then slap, and then you're going to play the 6-string open. You'll see there's a final chorus variation, and we'll get to that later. Okay, cool. So this was and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, cool. Next after that, we move into our C9 chord on the first beat, slap on beat number 2, pluck the 5th string with your thumb, play this open D chord. So this is 2nd, 3rd, and 5th strings. Slap on 3. Keep the chord with your fingers, and then your 3rd finger here is the one that goes into the 3rd fret, and then your pinky finger here bumps over here into the 5th fret. Next we go to this wide G chord. So if this is with your 1st finger again on the 3rd fret and your 7th fret done with your pinky finger. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so that was again doing thumb and then plucking with your fingers. Okay, sweet. So next after that, back to C add 9. 1, 2, pluck the 5th string with your thumb. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. This I'm not too sure. I think it's, yeah, it's more like that. So you're gonna go 4 and then pluck the strings rather than 4 and 1. Okay, so then after that, it ties over. You have your variation measure for the final chorus too. The variation is where you do slap harmonics at the 12th fret instead of doing just a regular slap down. That's the variation in those two parts. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. So we have plucking the 4th string, hit, and then plucking the 6th string, and then here is where we have to do our slides. But instead, remember when we slid only with our pinky finger from the 5th to the 7th frets? Well, now we have to slide with our index and our pinky fingers. And they're going to slide from the 2nd and the 5th to the 4th and the 7th. And then you're going to pluck these notes back here in the 2nd and 5th frets. So the fingers are going to do a lot of sliding. The only difference is that you have to re-pluck the notes once you get back into here into the 2nd and 5th frets. So you have to really practice doing that sliding, and then you have to really practice as well doing making sure that your sliding is accurate. By the way, I have these tabs here that I've printed out and then do these corrections. You can get these tabs on my Subscribe Star page. Okay, so really practice that sliding part because you'll need to do it often. So the first time we slide, we're going to play this note in the 3rd fret on the 5th string. Then you're going to play the open strings again, slide and hit. So slide and hit on the 2nd beat. And then you're going to play this D chord with the 1st and the 2nd and 4th fingers here in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fret. We've seen these chords before. Play the 3rd and 2nd strings together. And then you're going to strum an E minor open chord, which launches you back into the start of the chorus again. Okay. So this is, let's do from the beginning of the line again. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Apologies for my crappy sliding. It's difficult to do actually when you do it slowly. Okay, so you go back and you redo the chorus again. And then after that, you're going to, when you get to the 2nd ending, you do your slidey chord. You vamp that, which means you're going to do that whole part like 3 times, I think. There's a repeat. And then the very last time that you do this, like this. The very last time that you do that to finish the first chorus that we do, it sends you back into the interlude and to the verse number 2. Okay, so you you're going to, when you finish the vamp, you have, you'll know you finished the vamp by these rests. So it's very important to do. Very important to do those rests to show that you finished the vamping part and you finish the chorus and you're going to go in to do the verse. Okay, so you do your verse, you do your chorus again, and then we go do the middle 8. So like I mentioned in the roadmap, you have to go around and do the verse number 2. And after you do the chorus number 2, we're going to do the other part, which is not in the anime opening. And this is the middle 8. We're going to start off by our middle 8 slides. You're going to slide from the 10th fret into the 12th fret with your pinky finger. You're going to play this note here on the 9th fret with your index finger. You're going to play this note here on the this note here on the 10th fret on your first string with your 3rd finger, and then you're going to slide back with your pinky finger sliding from 11 to 10 as you hit and do your percussion at the same time. And then you're going to play the 6th string open, and then you're going to play this diminished sounding interval with your 2nd finger here on the 9th fret, and then your 1st finger here on the 8th fret. And then you're going to slap again, and then you prepare to slide again from 10 to 12. Okay, so practice this slowly. Be very accurate with the intervals, I suppose. So this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Great. So next we slide from 10 to 12 one more time. Reach back into the 8th fret this time for the bass note. Okay, then reach into the... This isn't a big stretch, so it's fine. Your 3rd finger goes into the 12th fret one more time. Slap from and go back from 10 to 11. And then you're going to play 8 and 8 this time. So your 2nd finger and your 3rd finger now are both in the 8th fret. Great. Okay, so next after that, you're going to play your 8th fret note, this time with your pinky finger. So your pinky finger goes into the 8th fret with your 4th string. And then your this note here on the 7th fret is going to be done with the 2nd finger. So you have, yeah. This is this part here. So you have pluck this note here on the 8th fret, play the 6th string note with your thumb, play the 8th fretted note with your middle finger here on the 2nd string, and then you're going to do a kind of slap where you mute the other strings. You can mute it with your 1st finger, but you have to slide from the 7th to the 8th to the 7th fret back again quickly with your 3rd finger on the 4th string. Next after that, we pluck this note here on the 7th fret and this note here on the 5th fret. Pluck it with your thumb and your index finger, and then you're going to slap down. And then you re-pluck again this note on the 5th fret with your index finger this time. Your 2nd finger goes back into the, here, this is the 6th fret. And then you keep plucking the 5th fret note on your 4th string with your index finger. Slap. Your pinky finger reaches over into the 7th fret. And then you pluck the 4th and the 3rd strings together and slap. Alright, and then this launches us into the last part of the electric guitar solo. Anyways, let's do it back from the very beginning. I'll try to do it and not mess up too much from the beginning of the middle 8. So we have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, great. That wasn't too bad. All right, so now we go and we play. We're going to have a bar here, a small bar with our index finger. Next after that, you're going to reach over into the 7th fret with your 3rd and 4th fingers. slap down. Then next after that, you're going to reach into the 5th fret with your first finger, and then you're going to reach back into the 7th fret with your 3rd and 4th fingers and pluck those on the 2nd string. And it's basically an alternation between 8, 7, 5, 7, and 7, and then 8, 0, 7, and 8. So this goes like this. From reaching back here, you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... All right, great. Next after that, you're going to go up and down. This, by the way, this is the 8th, this is the 7th fret, and this is the 8th fret. And I'm playing the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So I have up, down, and slap. Play the 4th string open, slap. And then when you slap here, you're going to rearrange your fingers because you need to bar here in the 7th fret. So the slapping on the 3rd beat gets you rearrange your hand so you can bar here on the 7th fret. Then you're going to go up, down, down. Yeah, I like this open. So do the small bar here in the 7th fret, but don't cover the 4th string. So this is going to be 3 and 4 and. So as you notice on my 4 and, I have to do 2 downstrokes. I do 1 downstroke with percussion on the 4th beat, and then 1 without percussion on the end of beat number 4. So I have... Right, so that's let's go from where I have to rearrange my fingers. So we have this is going to be on the measure number 48. So we have here we have and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, that's the end of the electric guitar solo. Still in the interlude. Now we're going to do the singing part. The voice comes back here at this part. So you have your 2nd finger here into the 8th fret on the 6th string, and then you have your 1st finger here on the 7th fret on the 1st string. So you're going to rasguiato strum down on beat number 1. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, so that's very simple. You have just the strings that you need to pluck are the 1st and the 3rd strings and the 6th string. And then your 1st finger takes care of the notes that are in the 7th fret. This being on the 7th fret on the 1st string, and then this one being the 7th fret on the 3rd string. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Great. Next after that, we are going to have we're going to have 2 notes that are in the 7th fret. It's going to be your 2nd finger and then your pinky finger here, both on the 7th fret, on the 6th, and on the 1st strings. So we have 1, 2. On beat number 2, your 1st finger reaches over here into the 5th fret. 1, 2, and 3, and on the and, your 3rd finger here is going to be on the 3rd string in the 7th fret. 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And. Great. All right, the next chord that you need to do is this kind of cool A minor sus chord, whatever. Anyway, so your 3rd finger here is in the 5th fret, and your 1st finger here is in the 3rd fret. You're going to pluck the 5th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 strumming. Next after that, you need to go into the 7th fret with your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers on the 6th, 4th, and 3rd strings. And then your 1st finger here is on the 1st string in the 5th fret. And you're going to purely strum this. It's going to be down, up, hit, down, up, down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Great. Next after that, you're going to have... This is similar to the chord that we did before, but you're going to need some notes in the, you're going to need a finger in the 8th fret. So your second finger here is on the 8th fret with your 6th string. Your third finger here is in the 9th fret on the 3rd string. And then your index finger here is on the 1st string in the 7th fret. You can also, if you feel like it, this is probably a better sounding chord. So your second finger here, I'm just going to have my 3rd and my 4th fingers here on the 4th string and the 3rd string, both in the 9th fret. And my index finger stays on the 7th and my second finger stays on the 8th. It's just harder to get. So they both sound fairly similar, just either you only have one finger in the 9th fret or you have two. It's up to you. So it's 1, 2, and 3. And then after that, on the ant, you need to get this note finger here onto the 8th fret and pluck the 2nd and 1st strings together. Slap. Then you need to pluck the 3rd and the 2nd strings together at the same time with your pinky finger here on the 10th fret. So that was 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... All right, so what happens after that is there's a slap on the beat number 1, and then you're going to go, and we've seen this part, it's where you transform from your B7 chord to the sus4 to B7, like B7 sus4 to B7, and we saw that, I guess, to finish the to finish the pre-chorus. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to finish the middle 8 the same way because we're going to the final chorus. So you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rasgado strum up, and then back to the final chorus. Okay, so it's down, up, down, 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 up, down, where you let go of your pinky finger, and then you have your second finger here into the 8th fret. And then rasgado strum, and then up stroke, and then back to the final chorus. Once you finish doing the middle 8 part, then after that you need to do the variation. Well, it's the last chorus, and the last chorus has a variation measure, which I will present. And then after you finish doing that, you are going to do the outro to the song. Okay, so before we talk about the outro, we are going to do the final chorus variations. And what you'll see is that the first and second beats are a little bit changed. The first beat of the final chorus variation, sometimes you have a percussion here on the lower bout. And on the second beat, it's slap harmonics at the 12th fret, which for us is the 14th because of the capo. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so that's the only part that's going to change when you see those final chorus variation measures. Just replace the first and second beats with either a hit, percussive, and then some harmonics on the 12th fret. That's it. Okay, so the final chorus, you're gonna do all those vamps, that part where you have this part here, you vamp that a couple times, and then instead of like going to the variation, the interlude, you're going to go to the outro, which is exactly the same as the interlude, and in fact, like. It's exactly the same, but instead, of course, moving on into the chorus, you do your B7 chord, and then here you're going to move into the regular B7 pattern, and then you finish with some strums, up, down, up, down, up, down, and then you end the song on an E minor chord. So outro. That's all the same as the interlude that we just saw. And to finish it, you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then finish on E minor. So that's Bluebird. Enjoy. Okay, so that's all for the song. Once again, remember to click on the like button and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this tutorial. Also, make sure to share it on social media, and you can also follow me on the other regular social media platforms. Don't forget to sign up to my Subscribe Star page. And if you like this tutorial, once again, like it, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.